Good morning, everyone. Live a little bit earlier than usual because I had the previous night off, or this most recent night off. Get our audio check out of the way and make sure things work. Previous night off. Okay. So my computer has a tendency to freeze up when I turn it on, because I always keep it on sleep mode. I almost never shut it off, and sometimes it glitches out and I have to completely restart it and things get a little weird. So I was going to start stream a little bit earlier, and then I was informed that an email had gone out that I had not seen about water to the apartment being shut off for a time window in which I was going to take my shower. So postponed going live for a bit, took a shower, ate, got some other stuff done. But we're here now. I do only plan to stream for 3-ish hours, with things being the way that they are. So I don't know strictly how much we're going to get done in Satisfactory. I definitely think we can get aluminum done. Yesterday we came really close. We got the copper wired up, we got the concrete wired up, and we got the oil wired up. Those were like the three big issues that we're going to run into. The final thing is that the outputs to those need to get wired into a resource sink. I cannot have copper is not going to have too much extra. Okay, so we're looking for, what is it, the 11th? 20 stun rebar. And yesterday our thing was 25 fix-it coupons. So we are gradually working through that. I haven't actually built that yet. I haven't had time in the past couple days. Do I still have... Okay, I've got the 3 hard drives. What do I feel like? My phone vibrating? What the hell? Oh. That's the other benefit of having a big desk. I can actually put my phone on it and feel if it's vibrating. But yeah, I've had some stuff going on, so I haven't really done anything with this. Okay, so this is your scrap. It puts out 300, 60, 120, 270. I just want to make sure that that's for. Those are all hooked up. Okay, so these each make 30 aluminum ingots. Which means that we can combine 5 of them into one of these. So from previous days, we have aluminum mostly set up. And in fact, we have more than just aluminum set up. We almost have alclad casing set up, which we don't even have yet, but I managed to get configured thanks to the Satisfactory planner modeler that's available on Steam. So I've got everything set up that needs to be for all of that. That handles those three. And that handles the final two. That. That. Is a slight chance that things end up being a little bit off with the numbers, but hopefully everything works out the way I want it to. And in fact, why don't we put that over there? That right there. And then that mirrors that. Beautiful. And then the excuse me. And then these need a total of 150 copper ingots. These. $75. If I'm right, these would have to be also taking copper. Yes, okay. Oh, that's... Okay, so that's the alclad casing. Okay, but it doesn't particularly matter either way, because 30 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, that's 300. So there should be 10 of these left. So actually every single one of those can power one of these. Or I can just wire it all up to one belt, which probably the easier solution. So why don't we get this done as well while we're here? And right before I logged on to stream, there was an update from Battle State, which is behind Escape from Tarkov, and they were saying that snow has literally just come to Tarkov. So in the event we get everything up and running, I might do my first run of the true winter Tarkov season on stream. My PC will probably hate me for it, but so what I plan on doing with this is I plan on making like a single conveyor that comes over and powers all of it. That's just the easier solution to manage. Could I do one-to-one? Absolutely. I think it's going to be too much of a hassle. Probably be easier actually if I have it go the other way. And then when I have the copper come in, I could suck it up to the top and have it run like just under all of the assemblers. And there is already a bot in chat. Wrong thing. That one. There we go. I'll leave that as it is for now. The buttons confuse me. And I could reduce it to class 3 belts if I really wanted to, but okay, and that is all of our aluminum ingots. We're gonna be flying today. The lone thing is fabric, which we're not going to need for quite a while, and then this just comes out to be copper. 22, 5, 45, 90, 1, 2, 3, 4 is 180. So all of our copper ends up only needing a level 3 belt. Why have I not set you to do anything? Why would I put you here? What would you... No. No. What was the purpose of this? Eight machines for heat sinks. Ah! And those need copper sheets. Okay, it's a good thing I didn't wire that up. That's our copper sheeting. So we don't need that. Actually, I'm gonna go and mark. That's gonna be the no thing. So these each make 75. Two make 75. 150. 300. 375. A little over 400. Fit on a little 4 belt. Which is fine by if I built. Yes. 10 resin, all the concrete, and about 30 copper. To also make sure that we got the things. This eats 75 copper ingot. not those ones. It's those ones. Oh, this is going to be a fun journey. $75, $150, $300. One, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. I think I can swing it to there. I like the other way better. We need more concrete beams. Now it lets me slide. Does that have any left? Does this have any left? A few. And a few should really be all that we need. And then that's what, 150 total copper over there, plus like another 10. So a level 3 belt is kinda overkill. I say kinda overkill. It's also all it's going to need. So there's that. But this way. Alright, and that is the casings powered. That is the aluminum sheets powered. Well, not powered, wired. I am going to do a thing with these. I am going to get these, at least, moving to a storage bin. So that's 30 per, okay. It's not even going to be its official end point. But because this is going to be like the new biggest belt, I am going to want to stockpile materials. It's kind of off center, but that like said it connected, so it works. And that doesn't need to be the fastest one, it just needs to be fast enough. Because once these get powered, make that a little bit longer, or is that like at the end of its rope? That is at the end of its rope. So can I make that longer? Delete the right thing. I don't think that faced the right way. Nope, it did. And then that hooks in there so that we can start building up our supply of a wonderful 720 belt. Before I get too distracted, since we're running seriously low, I'm taking this. One stack. So how many is that going to produce in a minute? 6 per minute. So making up a stack of 4. Yeah. Well, actually, we've got all the other reinforced beam productions, so we should be fine. Ooh, actually, you know what I could do? Why don't I hop up top, run over those, steal some of them. Should be over there. Those ones? Close enough. Ha 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 ha. We shall never run out of materials. Look at all the presents. All the fix-it goodies. Okay, so that's gonna be the heat sinks. That. Can't even make heat sinks yet. Let's wire up. Okay, so they need 300 alclad sheets. Which would be our entire production of that. If I have that. I could just pump. So we're not going to wire that up yet. Not fully. I'll go down, I'll hook these up, and I will run a line back to the resource sink. Because everything that uses water over here has to go somewhere. Has to. It's not optional. Steamed copper sheet. We said what? That was 2. Every 2 is 45. 90. 180. So a little 3 belt should like kill it. Smart splitter. Yoink. Left output any, forward none, right output overflow. got an idea. It's a bit of a convoluted idea, but it is an idea, so just bear with me for a hot moment. That is... Forward any right, and then that wends back. One, two, three, four. 5 would be that one. There. 2, 3. Hang on. Brain is doing short-circuity stuff. No, that's not where I wanted you to go. What the fuck? That goes all the way back to the awesome sink. Just have to curve it. That's wired in. And that's the copper sheet. technically speaking, since some of that's going to be doing other stuff, we're probably not going to get the full 480 out of it until we get the heat sinks. Not the heat sinks, the sheeting operational. Okay, so what else do we need to do for this? This makes extra. Okay, so this is polymer resin. Makes 40 polymer resin. Also makes 40 polymer resin. Where does polymer resin go? To this. I'm going to need more regular iron plates. So the good news is the awesome sink is right over there. So all of this I should be able to just weave right into that. Fuck. Okay, not the end of the world. Not the end of the world. Just need to make a very minor adjustment. Yep. Using Mark IIIs are always more fun. And then it should be that one? Okay, time to get more iron plates. Sorry if I've been quiet for a while. I've been thinking about how to wind the conveyors through each other in a way that kind of makes sense. Merger, smart splitter, smart splitter. Left should be any, right should be overflow. I got my things correct. Okay, so that handles polymer resin. That because we don't need it. Polymer resin and heavy oil are wired. Bauxite and water are wired. Output is just solution. Solution petroleum coke. We have not wired the petroleum coke yet. Alumina scrap. Water. Alumina scrap water. That's that. This. This is the heavy oil residue into petroleum coke. So we've got the heavy oil residue done. Do we have things for petroleum coke yet? Apparently we do, and I just forgot about it. So this eats 1, 2, 3, 4, 240 petroleum coke. This should make 240 petroleum coke. Okay. And then this is your water, limestone into concrete. That should get wired directly in. Yeah, level 3 belt is fine. Then we need an overflow switch for copper ingots. Do I already have a thing for the copper to go? Was that what I was working on, or was that the copper sheeting? Nope, that goes. So that's your copper ore input. Your output's over here. Goes onto that. Hits the smart splitter and branches off and double back. Okay, so where is... fabric, right? We need to do a thing with the fabric. Sheet. Did I not? Hang on. 3 something. So 75, 150, 300, 375, about 400 copper ingots. That eats 150. 250. $45.90 is $340. I have to have done my math wrong here. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 412. Uh, 4, 1, 2, minus the 150 minus 100, so that's 162 left over. $45.90. So according to this, we'd need 180. $45. Excuse me. $45.90. 1, 2, 3, 4. 180. Which means that we are 17.5 over. But I also made the note that it makes extra copper ingots. Hang on. I need to pull up the Satisfactory modeler. You're probably not going to end up seeing it. This might end up like bugging out a few things, but really need to view it. So according to this, I would have 2 of those, 10 of those. I have 8 machines making copper sheets. 330, 430. Wait a minute. $180. I should have 12 refineries making I didn't really like plan out everything fully. But do I have 12 refineries that are making copper ingots? If that's where I fucked up. Copper ingot. Hang on, I need to pull my playback back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So this should be skewed to make about 120 water into the pipe. Then it becomes just a simple matter of yeah, that's simple enough to fix. That should all be squared away. And then, as I said, that goes into there, hits that and splits in. Okay, that's the output for fabric. Two, three, four. Okay, fabric. I'm going to have it split this way. And then I'm not even going to bother with a smart splitter on this one because we are going to need fabric for a number of things that I can like count on one hand. There's your fabric. Okay, so now we're going to wind up copper sheets. copper sheets should go into that one. This is all copper ingot. Make them number 1s for now, and we can go back and update them later if we really want to. Yeah, however it goes, we can come back and figure it out. But we already have the off branch planned. Casings into heat sinks into I genuinely might end up like doubling that and making a floor above that's identical. Because what I'm thinking right now is if all of this goes as I have it, it's going to make casings and heat sinks and all that, and we're not going to have a whole lot left for anything. Because heat sinks are going to go to our phase 4 parts, casing, the alclad sheets and all that are going to go to their own things, so I'm going to need more. So I'm going to have to at some point duplicate this floor, duplicate this whole section. But for now, the copper sheets went back and go in there. For now, alclad sheets are going into their own storage. Smart splitter. that yoink. Followed by that yoink. Left output is overflow. These are your casings. Which I do not currently have a purpose for, but they will need to go somewhere. So let's do with these the same thing that we did with that, except I'm only going to make one industrial storage. And I know it kind of looks sloppy doing it this way, but I don't need of give. Merger. Instead of that, and that's kind of a disaster piece, but with that, in theory, I think we've got everything wired up for here. We just need to establish a power grid and probably flip the switch. try to get 2 of these things per power pole. Okay, that whole line is set up. This back. Okay, that whole power line is up and running. And then you get these, which are kind of dumb because their power nodes are on this side of the building. Good news is I made all of them, well, all of our refineries right in the line. So everything kind of works out. That. Almost got all of them done. Last few machines. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we have... Hang on, that's the wrong way around. We have power. And for the first time, our maximum consumption is actually above our maximum production. Which is a problem, but... Those machines are powering up. Those machines are powering up. Which means that these ones should be about to hit the power. Come on. Come on. Pet Coke. Why did I not get Pet Coke? Concrete. Okay, that's all it took. Okay. Should be working now. And those are all chugging on. It's going to be very back and forth for a while until things figure out how to equalize. Come on. I thought I'd carefully engineered this. Apparently... that way. That way. Just do a freaking halt. Does that solve my issues? Is just something wrong with the head lift? It appears to have just been something wrong with the head lift. Okay. Not an ideal solution, having that come up through the floor, but don't know what a better one would be. And then those all have to wait for more scrap because the scrap is slowing down, and we gotta get let's grab some of these Christmas presents. So 1. Three of them got stuck on refineries in one area. Some copper. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 180. We did make sure that was going to be a 180 input, correct? Well, gee, that'd probably help. Gotta be that copper belt. War of the Worlds horn just sounding overhead. Uh-oh. Well, it might not be the end of things. It's always when you forget to do, like, a level 3 belt somewhere. Ooh, wait, nope. While I'm over here, I didn't check the output, I just checked whether it was flowing smoothly. Although, be perfectly honest, that does look like a solid 180. Yep, target production is 180. So any second we're going to start seeing gaps. Yep, we're already seeing the gaps because it is at production level. Okay. But all of this goes to mean that we should be getting reinforced iron. Yeah, we need to get 600 reinforced iron plates. Those should be in that tower. One, two, three. You know, I'm gonna take the hyper tubes. Yoink. Yoink. Yeah, and I've got 177 alclad sheet purely from running around and collecting hard drives. Ha 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 ha! Boys, we're in business. We are so in business. Logistics Mark 5.
Milestone reached. Fixit dedicated this milestone to the conveyor belt and lift Mark 5. They may be implying that your factory could be further optimized. While they are correct, I believe they are setting unreasonable expectations. Having all of humanity very definitely relying on your work is a lot of pressure. It's a good thing I'm here.
So we can't even make heat sinks. We need advanced aluminum production. Oh, we're gonna be here a while. Well, this is gonna give me more inventory slots, so I'm gonna grab this. And also, like, that should take literally no time. Can't even do anything with it because we need to wait for that to come back. But what we can do, since we did just get the aluminum stuff, right? Our plan was to rewire all of the bauxite, because this is not quick enough. Although, ironically, stuff seems to be backing up, which is concerning. What do you mean it's got 120 stuff? Filling up on petroleum. Because we're not getting rid of water fast enough? Alright, so copper's got some power pumping behind it. So now that gives the rest of the water stuff some power pumping behind it. That should be just absolutely cranking. Are you getting water? No. Why are you not getting water? I'm not putting a pump on every single thing. Meanwhile, these are not getting copper ingot. Oh. Well, I found out why we've got a backup of water. And that's taking all of the copper ingots to the end productions. What was it? 150. So I need to figure out 22.5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 180. Shit. 180 divided by 37.5. Rebby, thank you for the follow. 37.5. It's about 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I know where to put the splitter. So gonna have that go like that for a moment. Put a splitter there. That. Maybe this will end up being... Well, no, we might have time for a... Fucking A, I did the thing again. Of course, the fact that these weren't getting water makes it all the more... Or rather, weren't consuming water. Makes it all the more perplexing why shit wasn't working. know what I should have done. Let me stay on the belt, you piece of crap. And then that should start going correctly. Which should start making everything else start going better. Okay. Well, while we wait to see if that equalizes. We are going to make that great big storage bin of bauxite a relic. Which honestly is for the best, because that thing of bauxite's kind of ugly. This is probably one of our longest resource lines, aside from the lines we have for Caterium. This belt takes 780 resources a minute, almost double our previous fastest. And there's still at least one belt that's higher. And then it should only matter coming out of here that it's 780. So this is clocked to 180. And that's only clocked to 60. $180 and 60 is 240, so that should be fine. This is 360 feeding into its own belt of level 4, so that should be fine. We ascend! What'd I say? 240. $240 and 360? And we are ripping it. So each of these towers is roughly 35 foundations apart, and each foundation is supposed to be 8 meters by 8 meters on the surface. So we flying. So 240, 360, yep. We have a dismantle crate out there somewhere? What the hell? I didn't even know there was a... I didn't even notice that there was a dismantle crate, so we're gonna have to figure out where this is and how much stuff is in it. It might also do me some good to adjust the adjust the belt feeding into that awesome sink to be a level 5. It was out here. Watch it be like right on the corner. I think I see it, just the corner of it. Throw those in there. Add that to the stack. Let's see if I can add that to the stack. Those to the stack. Okay. And this should start flowing very, very evenly once the storage containers that we were using empty out. Because that storage container was solely meant to supplement what the belt could not alone sustain. Because the maximum that we had was 480, and I didn't want to make a 120 knowing that we were just going to build over it with the level 5 belt that can go at 780, so... I found a workaround, and now we gotta wait for the workaround to drain out. I never went and got that, apparently. I am out of nobelisks. Alright, let's go see about getting Hoverpack tech. That, those. I only have 2 stacks worth of motors and a little. Fortunately, I only need 2 stacks worth of computers. Pass it? Maybe I was looking for the wrong thing. Doink, doink, Doink. Okay, so we need to go and find motors. Easiest way for that is probably to just go down to the old production area, because that should be like right down here. Just yeet myself into a wall. And then whatever we don't need, we can throw into our storage. Yoink. Button.
Milestone reached. The Hoverpack draws energy from nearby power connections, and so can only be used in their vicinity. It provides an excellent vantage point of your work, which you clearly need. Otherwise, you would have optimized that obvious problem by now.
Ha ha ha. Boys, we got Hovertech. Make 50 filters. Which means that we're going to need cloth. I didn't even make a proper thing for... So, shouldn't take too long to get what I need. We were at 80 something in our inventory, so I'll just wait until we have enough to make, have like 20 of these. I am somewhat concerned about why we're not quite that shouldn't be the issue. That. That ain't moving fucking at all. Get the pumping, you piece of shit. That should be plenty for crafting. Crafting our filters. Ooh, wait, hang on, we need some of this shit. Skadoink, skadoink. Filter. Oh, wait, no. It's over here. There's the 50. Q. Pull out a thing of quick wire. Doink. Doink. Button.
Milestone reached. The hazmat suit protects the wearer from radiation by consuming iodine-infused filters. You may find this protection essential if you are going to finally get around to saving humanity. I previously gave you compliments in an attempt to inspire you, but it might have given you the wrong idea. I will definitely be totally honest with you from this moment on. Here is a demonstration of a truthful compliment. That suit looks like it was made for you. Because it was.
Okay, so got plenty of that. I need two full stacks of the casings, and then I need a bunch of plastic. And I'm going to get 3 of those, and we're going to put 1, 2, 3. What am I being powered by? The range on this a lot longer than I thought. Like, I did not believe it was going to be able to reach that far. That's just crude oil. crude oil. Eh? All in all, I'd say we're doing pretty good there. The range on this clearly is a lot more than I thought. Because we're getting powered by the lines down there, and I'm just chilling. Which, on the one hand, is fucking great. Just casually sipping our cup of tea. Hello, Flufftails. You are no longer of any concern to me. Behold, for I have mastered the art of gravitational flight. I wanted to grab... Oh, those in there. Is there... Did I ever build a workstation here? I'll make a stack of 50 of these, and then we'll head back. So that's smokeless. Linda! Fucking... Right when I'm about to say thank you for the follow, I look at chat and you are very clearly a bot. As apparently also is Rebby. I thought they were a lurker, but apparently they are a bot who got flagged for, like, ban evading. Which, go figure, which is why I didn't see their chat pop up. Try and wait a little bit, get these out of the way, and then I'll throw the smokeless powder, at least one thing of black powder, I mean, into here so that I can get even more and use that in the future. There should be plenty of Mercer spheres and whatnot that we haven't got yet. So eventually I will upgrade the speed of this. But for now, for the amount of stuff that we're using, this speed is fine. It's fine. Case industrial beams. Okay, so I can fit a little bit more. Fly like an eagle. Da, 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 da. When you get that one part automated, so it's not, I suppose you could change the keybinds, but it's not a single button. You have to hold Alt and then use the scroll wheel on your mouse. Scroll wheel up I currently have to go from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then scroll wheel down counts down. But I might have changed that around because I think I was watching someone else and the default is different. Like just the scroll wheel directions, not press and hold Alt. You still got to press and hold Alt, so that's a thing. But there are options, and then you can go into key bindings, and you can swap it around. It just depends on your preference and if you like the default stuff. I think I've made very minimal changes since the game came out. Most of the key bindings are fine the way they are. Our massive turbo fuel power plant is just chugging along nice and fine. This, and then we need computers. Okay, so first off, I have 100-ish, so I could grab more. I think that's them. There's my 200 computers that I need, which I know it's one of you. One of you uses computers. There you are. And I still haven't done the frickin' crystal oscillators. Haven't had too much need for them. So, thank God for that. Control system! We're getting into nuclear
Milestone
bullshit.
reached. Several parts more efficient and powerful than the human brain can now be made to compensate for many deficiencies otherwise encountered in future development efforts.
Battery,
the blender enables you to mix and or combine parts and fluids for more complex recipes. Most importantly, project part number 6, the assembly director system, should be produced and delivered to the space elevator as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's going to need RCUs. Nuclear power, we need to work on making supercomputers. In theory, I can jump straight to advanced aluminum production. And I can just kind of wing this. Really, we shouldn't need too many radio control units. Then you need fused stuff to make the turbo. This is gonna get messy. And all of this is before we get to phase 9. I'm going to skip drones. I'm going to skip nukes. Because for now, we don't need the power. Well, we could use it. We don't need it. I'm going to select this milestone. I've got the 4. Okay, so I need 1 stack of... I need 1 stack of these, which I have. Oh, this is gonna get so messy. Used up. Okay, so radio control. Make 8. Apparently we don't have any of those in our storage thing. Yeah. And then okay, so next time I stream, how do you remove something from the hotbar? That's a fairly good question. Hang on. So let's go. Let's use this as an example. Okay, if I do. Okay, yeah, that works. So the way you add and subtract things is you just hold your mouse, your cursor over it, and then you press the number that you want it to be on. So I just made the conveyor belt Mark III disappear. and I can put it back. And then, like, you can just straight up switch it back and forth from whatever things you want it to be. I don't know how to clear it any other way. There might be some other way to just remove something from the hotbar, but finding the item or finding just a random item and quick clearing by doing buttons, it works. Brain thing works. Copper. That's what I was doing. And then I was going to have a heart attack about crystal oscillators. Those are going to be a fun issue. Here, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. That fills up that stack so that I can use it. I'm going to make a small billboard for myself right near the hub, and that's going to be my note for next time about wiring up the crystal oscillators. Yeah, I've gone... How long has this save gone? This specific save I've been using for almost 230 hours, and I've basically just used one line on the hotbar. I very briefly started a second one, and I've basically not touched it. Which is probably dumb, but I've just navigated things fairly well by using the one hotbar. Organization, small billboard. Oscillators. Need to wire these. So something you might have noticed when I've been flying around is under where I've got the space elevator, there is a ring of containers. I have not wired those up, and I need to, and that's what I mean by the res storages, the resource storages. Because right now, all of my factory, it's just stockpiling resources in the manufacturers themselves when everything hits maximum production at the end of the line. And almost none of that has storage, except for some of that stuff, because getting the alclad sheet is incredibly important and useful for basically everything else, because that's 780 resources a minute. So we got quite far today. What am I doing? This. We got done all of Tier 7. We're now on Tier 8. And Yeah, I guess nitrogen gas is going to be our next thing. Because we need that in order to get leading edge production. And then I can kind of start dialing back on some of the stuff that we've overclocked. And once I get leading edge production... Leading edge is going to be like the next major thing. It's going to be like a domino, right? I get advanced aluminum production. We get our fused modular frames, figure out how to do that. Then we get leading edge production. We get the minor Mark IIIs. I can figure out how much uranium and stuff we're going to be able to get. And the thing that hurts my head is that we still have all of Phase 9, and I'm not fully sure what Phase 9 encompasses. Or, Tier 9, sorry. Tier 9 is part of Phase 5? Or is it just... We get nuclear pasta, we get the pressure conversion. We get the thermal propulsion, fused cooling system, the magnetic field generator. Funky looking thing, funky looking thing, funky looking thing. That funky looking thing. Yeah, so that's got to be part of Phase 5. It says Phase 4 under it, but that's... Oh, that's what you got to complete. Okay. Yeah, the dark matter. We still have so many alternate recipes that we can go out looking for and try to find and get and everything. And it feels like it doesn't even feel like I just got this factory up and running. I did just get this factory up and running. We completed this stage of our factory at like the 210 hour mark. The 210 or 220 hour mark. I spent 80 hours building this level of factory so that everything would be optimized and I could get all the resources to this spot and build everything for Phase 3 in an hour and a half. And we're going to be on Phase 5 at the rate we're going in the next, like, 15 to 20 hours. I spent 80 hours optimizing a factory to be done with it in 20 hours. God help me. But, yeah, that's going to be my small crash out. I, unfortunately, do need to get going. Because I have work later. I meant to do, like, more stream stuff today, but I also didn't quite count on getting this much done in Satisfactory, which is really great. So I'm going to work on getting more of the Christmas stuff done off stream. I've got a day off or two coming up, and I have a laundry list. It's a problem. Hello. Just in time for me to sign off. Welcome back. Drop that. And then I can't even really begin the... Yeah. I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna work on this off stream a little bit. Babylon's. What is it? 49. Save. Okay. We got a ton done. And next week should be a normal schedule. And for that matter, the rest of the year should be pretty much a normal schedule, aside from Christmas and potentially New Year's. I don't know fully what the plan is around Christmas yet. I have to look at a calendar and see which days I have on or off and talk to my family about plans. Next week, though, Tuesday, Thursday, going to be 8 a.m. starts for stream as usual, Eastern time, U.S. Probably not going to do Satisfactory next week, because World of Tanks has their event. Skull and Bones started their event this week. Snow literally just fell in Tarkov. I really need to go take a look at that. Elite Dangerous, they've got a kind of advent calendar thing going on. It's not that important. Satisfactory has Fixmas. Fixmas has been around. I haven't built out the productions. I need to do that so that we can get the tree and make everything look festive, and that's going to be a project. I'm just rambling at this point. Take care, everyone. Stay safe, and I will catch you in the next one. I genuinely don't know what we're doing. I'm a little overwhelmed. So, next week, random streams. Ciao. Take care. Be safe. Don't drink and drive.